Hello friends, today in this tutorial I will be showing you that how to build a public chat room inside your React.js application using Tailwind CSS inside the front end. So basically this is a chatting kind of an application. So it's a group chat. So basically public chat room or group chat kind of an application. So you can see this is, we are using Google login authentication. So we are using Firebase at the backend here. So basically you can see we are using the real-time database such as Firestore for building this. So let me show you the authentication method, which methods we are using it. So inside sign-in method, you will now see we are using this Google authentication, which is enabled by default. And you will now see these are the users which are there. Let me delete this and start from scratch. Let me delete this account also. So now guys, it is empty, no user is there, so we need to start from scratch. So basically you can now see if you open this inside the browser, this will be the simple interface. There will be a button out there which will be sign in with Google, which is a very obvious button that you see inside many applications. Whenever you want to sign in with your Google account, you need to grant permissions. So whenever you click this sign in button guys, so this window will appear, the pop-up window. Then you need to grant the permission for your Google account. After permission granted, you will now see your logout button. So now you are successfully logged in. So these are the messages inside our chat here. Now you can see the name is also displayed here, Gautam, Coding Siksha, Mehak Chopra. You can now see these are the previously sent messages. So whenever you send a message, it will be appearing on the right hand side. Let's suppose I say, hello, I am Gautam. So basically this message will be there on the right hand side and it will have a nice little background color attached to it. So now you can send as many messages as you want here. So now you can see that. So you can see that. Just refresh it. So in this way guys, you can send out the messages here. So all these messages that you see guys, it is stored inside. If you see, we are storing all these messages inside our Firebase database. So go to your Firestore database. So we are storing all these messages inside this collection, which is called as table. So let me delete this now, delete collection. So you simply say, or individual, you can delete this. You can delete document. Basically you can also delete the whole collection as well. So these are the different kinds of messages which would be there here. So you can now see it will have these fields out there, which is name, text, timestamp. So you can see name, text, timestamp, and this is the unique ID which is there. So let me just show you. Let me delete this here. So now this will be deleted. So now in order to create a collection, basically here you will give your collection name. So in this case we will put messages. Click on next, and this document ID you can auto generate it, and our fields will be display name. This will be string, and then we will have the text, actual text message. Here we can put here bottom, and then we can put here hello, and then lastly we will have the next field here, which is timestamp, and basically this will be of the type here timestamp. So simply select it. So here we will give the today's date, which is 10th September 2022, and the current time, which is 10:08:27 and click on save. So now your collection will be created guys inside your Firebase Firestore database. Here you can see that, and now if you go to your application, now you will see this message appearing here automatically. So this is the power of using Firebase real-time database guys. You will get real-time notifications without having to refresh your page. So let's suppose I open another account here. Let's suppose this account, and let's suppose I open here localhost 3001. So this is another window here. So basically guys, you will now see, let me put it side by side. So basically, as you see, is a group chatting kind of an application. If I click sign in here, so this is a separate Google account, so we need to grant permission for this. So we will need to grant the permission. So once it is successfully logged in, so now you can see that it is log out. So if I send some message here, I am Neha, so you can now see this message will be there on this. It will be received on the left hand side, and the background color will be Neha. You can see Neha to Josie and hi, I'm Neha. So basically now here, if I send it hi Gautam Sharma, you can now see this will like this. I can have also have three people also. You can have multiple people chatting at the same time. So this is another account here, localhost 3001. So again sign in. So now will be three windows of chatting here. So, so this is a very awesome application, guys. You can see all these messages will be pre-filled here, and if you see, hi, I am Harshad. Now you can see that. You can see Harshad Chopra. As you can see, hi, I'm Harshad. So in this way, guys, you can do all the three windows will be receiving these messages. So it is unlimited number of people can chat at one time in public chat room. So anyone goes to the application, you just need to sign in with your Google account, grant your permissions, and you can also deploy this application on the live internet. So anyone coming onto the application can chat with each other. The only disadvantage is that you can't send images here. Only text is sent here. So only text will be sent here. So this is only a disadvantage. So in the future videos, I will try to implement the image sending feature as well. So at any point you need to log out, you can simply click the logout button to simply log out like this. So this is the very good feature. You can now see log out. And if you check here inside your Firebase, number of users which are there, so go to authentication, and these are number of users which are logged in, created September 10, September 10 and September 10th. So this is a unique ID which is given to them, so that we can fetch out the information such as email address, display name, avatar image, so all that stuff. So let's start building this application, guys. Public chat room inside React.js, Firestore, and Tailwind CSS. So if you want the full source code, I have given the source code of this application in the live chat. So I have pinned this message here. You can see that I have pinned this message. So you can click this message and get all the source code. So I have written a complete blog post on my tutorial website coding section. So copy paste all the source code. So please hit the like button. I am seeing that you are not liking the content, so only 2 likes are there. So the target likes will be 50 likes. So please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So let's start building this application. So why every time I go on YouTube you are recommended and you are wearing the same t-shirt and you have notepad open and you are reading the code from notepad. um, so now let's get started by building this application, guys. So already 3 people have gone to the for source code, so that's good. So now first of all, guys, what we need to do is that we will create a brand new project, React.js project. So go to the projects directory, and simply here we need to create a new directory which is React public chat. So simply go into this directory, and here we will create a brand new project, npx create react app public chat. So this will create a brand new React.js application inside this folder, guys. You just need to wait for some time to install all the dependencies. So once it is installed, we can definitely go about the project. So just wait here, it is installing all the dependencies. In the meanwhile, let me tell you which dependencies we are using. So first of all, from the front end, guys, as you all know, Tailwind CSS is a pretty good framework for CSS without needing to write custom CSS. So it's a utility first CSS framework. It has got all the classes which is required to style the layout. So we will be using this inside of a React.js application, and then we also need to be using Firebase, as you all know. And for Firebase we have this library which is React Firebase hooks. This is the library. Basically it makes it very much easy in order to use Firebase inside as a hook. So only 40,000 weekly downloads are there. So this is a simple command. And also we will use this button, which is React Google button. So this is the dependency. So basically it is used to create this sign in button that you see inside your application. So it has got 15,000 weekly downloads. So sign in with Google. So we will use this library also. So it has light theme, dark theme, all that stuff. So once it is installed, guys, you can cd into that public. So here we can now open this project inside Visual Studio Code text editor, and step by step we will install all these dependencies, guys. So first of all we will install Firebase. Also we will install Firebase. uh, what was the command here? uh, it was Firebase React Firebase hooks. So also install this React Firebase hooks, and also React Google button. So these are the three libraries which is needed for this project, guys: Firebase, React, Firebase hooks, and React Google button. So simply install this. So it will hardly take 5 to 10 seconds to installment. So once it is installed, we can go about building this. So after this, guys, we will be configuring Tailwind. So if you just go Tailwind CSS React, it will give you the instructions that is needed here. So go to their official website, and first of all you need to execute this command, which is npm install -d tailwind css. So simply install this by using this. Then this command here, npx tailwind css init. So this is our brand new React.js project. So you don't need this file, so simply delete this. We also don't need the logo, simply delete this. And now we can all delete this, and inside app.js delete this, also the logo. So minimalistic approach we need to follow, so we don't need to waste time in extra things. So now, guys, we will execute this command here. So with the help of this command, you will now see there will be two files created, which is tailwindconfig.js and postcssconfig.js. So inside this tailwind.config.js, guys, you need to copy paste this code here, which is mentioned here. So simply paste it. So this simply means that it will be watching all the files which are present inside the source directory. These files can be either JavaScript files, JSX files, TypeScript file, or TypeScript TXX files as well. So simply do this, and now you are almost configured. So go to index.css, simply delete all this code here, and you need to copy paste this code here, which is mentioned here. So just write this. So in the blog post, I have shown you step-by-step instruction, all this stuff in the written format as well. So you can tell me, guys, in the chat if you can listen my voice here, because my microphone was not working. You can tell me if my voice is audible or not. So now it is completed, guys, here. And now first of all we need to basically here inside a root directory will simply say firebase.js. Simply create this file, and here, guys, first of all you need to create a brand new Firebase project. Go to project settings and basically create a web application. So here simply click this option, add app. After that you will get a special code here, which is this code, which is required for this. So simply you need to copy paste it, and simply paste it. So this code will be different for you. This is API key authorization domain, so don't copy this code. So this will be different for you. So now, guys, we need to first of all get the reference to the Firestore database as well. So simply delete this. So at the very top we will say import. First of all, authentication we will get auth from Firebase/auth, and also we will import the get Firestore method from Firebase/Firestore. So after this, guys, what we need to do is that we need to export this variable which is of authentication. So this will have this method get auth, and here we will pass the app reference. And also we need to export this const db, which is get firestore. This is a method, and again we need to pass app. That's it. So here we are exporting these authentication and database, Firestore database, so that we can include it in other files. So simply close this file. Now moving to the app.js, guys. So first of all, here inside this HTML, basically here we will have a section tag. So inside this section we will be giving a Tailwind class which will be called as so basically here we will simply say style dot section container. So we will make a style object, guys, so just wait, and inside this parent class you will say style dot app container. So this is convenient, guys. Let me show you how it is done. So basically you will create a style object here at the very top. This will be an object and it will contain these two properties, which is app container, and the second one will be section container. And right here basically you will put all these classes which are required for these are the Tailwind CSS classes. So basically here you will embed our navigation bar component. So navigation bar, and we need to create this component, guys. So right here inside your source directory, make a components folder, and right here the first component we will make is navigation bar dot JSX. JSX is a special language which contains HTML and the CSS as well inside the React.js code. So it's a special file similar to JavaScript, and here we will be writing the classes here, which is let me first of all run this project. So npm start. So this will start this application on localhost. So it is saying that what is saying that sorry, we need to move to cd public chat. So here we will simply say npm start. So this will start this application on localhost 3001. So starting the development server, guys, so just wait. So it is saying that nav bar is not defined, so basically we need to define this component. So we will simply say RFC. This will be a functional component, so right here we need to include this. So we will simply say nav bar. So this will be imported from this components folder. You will see that automatically by Visual Studio Code text editor. So here we will put the, if you now see, nav bar is not defined. So this is your 3001. Sorry. Let me see, guys, what is the problem. So it is saying that nav bar is not defined. Let me see, guys, what is the problem. Let me stop this application, guys, so, which is running here in the previous window. Let me stop this. Compiling. You can now see compiled successfully. So basically now go to localhost 3000. So you can now see this is your navigation bar, guys. Now we need to put this this Google button, Google sign in button inside this navigation bar section. So this is very easy, guys. So first of all, inside this navigation bar, so here we need to return simply, basically the class name will be equal to again this approach we will follow, which is style.navigation. So at the very top we will create a style object, and here we will have the navigation property. So this will have various properties here. So we will write one by one, so simply wait. And here inside this, guys, we will have a h1 heading, simply chat app. And for this also we will be having style dot heading, and basically here basically we will display the sign in button component, sign in component, and also logout component. So these two components we need to make, guys. So simply in the components folder just make sign in JSX and also logout.jsx. So RFCE, so and RFCE. So these two components are there, and now basically we can include this. So simply we can simply say sign in. It is imported and logout. You can now see. And if you now refresh it, guys, you will now see your components, which is this is the navigation component, this is sign in, this is logout. So we now need to design these components. So if you're watching it for the very first time, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel. So basically, guys, inside our sign in component we will have a simple button. So basically, if I now show you, basically this will be a simple button here, and here we will simply have a simple class name. Again, we will follow the same approach, which is style.wrapper, and basically here we will have a simple Google button. This will be imported from React Google button dependency that we have imported, and basically this have a, if I put this here now, here you will now see a button here. It is saying that uh, style is not defined. So basically uh, we need to define this style here. So at the very top on style, this is an object which will contain this wrapper property. Now you will see this button, guys, which is sign in with Google. If you click this button, basically nothing happens because we need to write the JavaScript code for this. So now this button is showing here, and now we need to simply style this. So for styling it, guys, we will be giving flex, justify, center. So these are Tailwind CSS classes. So that's it. So basically after this you put the navigation bar uh, styles here. So navigation, it is there like this navigation bar. So basically we will put the background color will be gray to 800. So 800 is a shade by Tailwind CSS. So if you now refresh it, so I think style.nav, and also I need to put the height also, guys, that I forgot. So height will be of 20. So that's why now you will see so this is, I think, in navbar we are writing the styles here. We need to say flex, justify between, items, center, padding 4. And if you now refresh it, let me see, we need to compile this. So restart the application. For the heading, put a comma. We have the heading here, which is heading. Basically this will be text white, text 3XL. Basically this is the style object that we have here, and here we are assigning it style.navigation, style.heading. So why it is not, We check guys if Tailwind CSS is installed properly or not. If I check the package.json file, oh, I think guys what is the problem here? We installed it in a wrong manner. So basically, let me do it once again. So let me see. So as you can see guys, these files that you see inside, it is not present inside the source directory. Basically it needs to be present inside the source directory, both these files, which is tailwind config and post css. So we need to shift it inside the source directory. So what we will do is that move to here, move these files, and tailwind, so also move these files. So now you can see that hopefully now basically it will just put npm start. So now it will work. It was there outside the project folder, so that's why it was not applying the css. Hopefully now this will apply here. So just wait, it is starting it now. You can see that guys, this is now tailwind css classes are successfully applied. This is our heading here, and this is a button, sign in button, that you see. So it was just a problem of moving it in the project folder. So this is our app component guys. So also let me assign the classes for app component as well. So basically the parent element will be having maximum width of 728 pixel. So if you apply this, now you will have uh, this limited width of 728, and margin we need to say mx in the x direction auto. So this will place in the center of the screen. Now you can see that. And next we will want to align the text in the center position. So now you can see that. So now we will put the section guys, section styling. We will make flex column, and height basically will be of 90. View height, you can now see view height, and basically we can change the background to be gray 100. So now you can see this is the chat window background color. You can see all these messages will be displaying here. So now you will have this. After this guys, we will have our next class, which is margin from the top will be 10. We will also have a box shadow, which is shadow XL, which is extra large. And also we will be giving a border, which is border relative. So these are all Tailwind CSS classes. So now if you see, this will have this nice little box shadow effect here. You can now see. So there is a sign in button guys, and this also has this logout button. So we also need to style this button, which is logout. So inside we will simply go to the logout section, which is logout component. So right here we will write the styling for this. So simply we will go to this component. So basically here we will have a simple button here, which is logout button. So we can remove this button. You can simply say logout, and on click, sorry, we will attach the first of all classes to it of style dot button, and basically here we will style button, and here these are the classes. We need to change the background to be gray, and this will be 200. So basically now you will see that your gray color will be there here. Also we need to put padding from the X direction, so it will now have some padding as well, and from the Y direction as well. So now you can see. So basically now when we hover onto this button, we need to change the background color to gray 100, so slightly you can now see. So this is the interface which is quite ready guys, which is designed using Tailwind CSS. I think it's not responsive for mobile devices, but still it's a good interface. So now we need to hook up the functionality guys. So up till now, if you have any sort of problem, you can ask in the comment section. So please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well if you're watching it for the very first time. So now guys, what we need to do is that basically, if you now refresh it to localhost, so basically here we will first of all implement the sign-in functionality. So we will go to signin.jsx, so right here. So basically whenever you click the sign-in button here, we will attach a on-click on this Google button, so on-click event handler. So when we click this button, we will execute this function which is Google sign-in. This is the custom function we will execute, and basically here we will put this which is Google sign in. So this is an arrow function. So here we will simply say we need to put the provider. We will use this provider which is Google Auth provider. So I think you need to import this. So you need to import this from Firebase/authentication. You can now see authentication, and here this is the Google Auth provider. And after this guys, we need to redirect the user to select their Google account. So here we will say sign in with redirect. There are various authentication: sign in with credential, custom token, email and password, email link, phone number, pop-up, redirect email link. So we will use this method. It will be automatically imported, you will now see. So here you need to pass the authentication and the provider. That's it. So now if you hit your Google sign in button here, so it is saying that auth is not defined. Oh, sorry. We need to import this authentication as well, guys. So this authentication, if you say in Firebase.js file, you have exported this, you will now see authentication variable. So we can now import this inside our component. So you can simply say that import auth, sorry, this auth variable, and this. Like this. That's it guys. So now if you refresh it, if you click sign in with Google, if you click this button, you will be redirected to the page where you can select your account. So now you can see you are successfully logged in, but still this button is showing here. So that's not the behavior that we want. If you click the console, you will get your information. Let me show you. Uh, so here but we will go to the navigation bar section here, navigation JSX. So basically here we will put a if condition here. Basically we will check here. First of all, we will get the user which is currently logged in. So we will get the user like this, and here we will be using the use auth state. So basically this needs to be imported from the library that we have installed, which is React Firebase hooks /auth, and basically here this is the hook here which is use auth state, and here you need to pass the authentication. Guys, you can see that this is authentication we need to pass here. So here, depending upon the condition of the user, if the user is currently logged in, then we need to show the logout button. If the user is not logged in, then we need to show the sign in button. So simply here we will check if the user is valid, Then we will show the logout component, and here we will use a ternary operator. And now see, if you have studied programming, you will definitely know this component. So now this simply is, now we will see here, if you are logged in here, so let me see here inside the console. Invalid hook call. Hooks can also be called inside of the body of a functional component. This could happen for your might. Let me see guys, what is the problem here. Use auth state. Now let me refresh it guys. npm start once again do this. So I think it is correct. So why it is creating some problem here? Let me search this problem on Google guys. So why it is showing this problem? Let me see. I think guys the libraries are not there. So let me install these libraries once again inside this folder. I think that's why it is taking place. So once again install all these dependencies. You can see it is not listed here inside the dependency section, so that's why I get the problem that it is not there. So just install this npm i firebase react firebase hooks and react google button. So if you're watching it for the very first time guys, please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. So now it has successfully installed it. So if I say npm start, so now you can see that guys, if I hit this, so you are currently logged out. So that's why it is showing the sign in button. So if I click this button now, and if we are successfully signed in, so now it will show you the logout button. So now you can see that. So it is currently now working as expected. Now basically we will show you a simple field out there where you can enter your messages and send out and store it inside Firestore. So this is the authentication is done now. We will move to the next section, which is storing messages. So we will also, when I hit this logout button, we also need to log out the user, guys. So in order to do this, it's very easy. Just go to your logout component and simply here, basically here, we will need to give it a on-click event handler. When we click this button, basically this function will take place. Authentication sign out. So this is a callback function. So here you need to import the auth module. So import auth from Firebase, and also here we will define this method which is sign out. So simply here we will simply call sign out and pass the authentication object. That's it. So basically now if you see, guys, export default imported as auth was not found. What is saying that authentication, sorry, here we need to import like this authentication. So basically now, guys, if I click the logout button, it will be automatically, Firebase will automatically log out my account. It will redirect me to the home page. Once again, if I click the sign in button, I will be successfully signed in and the logout button will be showing. You can now see. So this authentication is complete, guys. So now we will move to the Firestore part. So open your Firebase, guys, and basically this is a section inside Firestore. Don't select real-time database, select Firestore database. And basically you need to edit the rules here. Go to the rules section and simply you need to change all these rules. You need to allow read and write. Simply just pause this video and simply write rules here. So this simply means that anyone can read the data, anyone can write to this database. It is not very good for security reasons, but for just development purposes it is quite clear. So simply do this and click on publish. And then we need to create a collection, guys. So let me delete this collection. So collection is nothing but a table. In MySQL it is called as table, but in Firebase it is called as collection. So we will put messages as the table name. Click on next. So this will be automatically generated and the field will be name of the person who have written the message. Let me say Gautam, for example. The second will be the field will be for the text. So this is a simple chat message. And the thirdly, guys, we will have the timestamp. So basically the time and the date. We have this field here, timestamp. So you will put your current date here and current time. So click on save and your entry will be created, guys. You can now see name, text, timestamp. So now we need to fetch this data and display this inside our application right here. So how we do this, it's very simple. For this we will create a separate component for this. So we will create a separate component for this which will be called as chat.jsx. So inside your components folder just create chat.jsx. So here we will inside our app dot section, guys. So after this navigation bar, basically here after this navigation bar we will check if the user is valid. Again we will access to the user by using this hook library which is use auth state. So basically this will be imported. You will now see use auth state from React Firebase hooks. So here we will pass the authentication, which is coming from Firebase. You can now see. So basically here we will simply check, guys, inside curly brackets if the user is valid. In that case you need to put the chat module. If the user is currently logged in, if the user isn't logged in, then we will show null. So this chat window will not be shown. So now if you open this now, so it is saying chat is not defined. So basically you can import this module chat from components chat. So now you can see our chat is displaying right here. So if you click sign in, you will now see. So this chat is now displaying because we are currently logged in. You can now see. So here we need to display the messages, guys, which will be. So here we will simply inside our chat module, guys. So basically just go to this. So here we will go to the chat.jsx. So here simply, guys, uh, so here we will be designing this interface, which is this will have a main tag and we will have a simple class name to it, which is style.main. So here we need to, at the very top we will declare our style object. So this will contain this main. So we will put these classes, guys, which is flex column, paragraph will be 10 pixel. So after this, if you now look at here, so after this, guys, what we need to do is that inside this main section, so here inside this, guys, we will first of all declare some variables. So first of all, for the messages which will be typed by the user, so we will be declaring a hook for this. So currently the initial value will be use state, we will use it the hook, and it will be empty array by default, and then we will declare const scroll, and also we will use ref hook. So scroll is there because it will automatically scroll whenever you push out a new message. So here we will use the use effect hook as well, guys, use effect, and basically this will run automatically when your component is running. So here we will be querying the database, guys. You can now see Firestore database. So inside this, you will simply say const queue, and basically you will say query. This will be imported. You will now see from Firebase/Firestore, and then we have this collection also. This will be also imported. You will now see collection is called as a table. So our basically this collection method takes two arguments. First is the database. So DB, we will pass it as a reference. You can see DB is there from Firebase. So we have created this file Firebase, and the second variable that we imported is DB, which is the Firestore configuration. We will pass this object. You can now see this is our database URL that we are accessing here. So now you can see that. So after this, guys, the second argument it takes is the actual collection name. So in our case, we have put the table name as messages. And after this, we do need to order it by some values, which is we will order it by. So this operator is, you can now see order by is there. If you have studied MySQL database, you will definitely know what is order by. Basically, it will sort all the messages based upon the timestamp that we have put here. So in our database, timestamp is a field out there. We have created this field. You can now see timestamp. So all the messages will be sorted based upon the timestamp. So after this, guys, we will subscribe to it, and we will say const unsubscribe. So here we will say on snapshot queue. So this will all be imported. You will now see on snapshot, and here we are passing the queue, which is the query, actual query. And then in the second parameter, guys, our query snapshot will be returned to us. So this will be holding all the data, guys, which will be simply delete this. So query snapshot, and here we can display this data. So first of all, these messages will be empty by default, and query snapshot dot for each. So for each message, we will have some properties here. So we will push to this messages dot push, and we will simply push this dot document dot data. So whatever data is present inside the fields here, we will push it to this array, and also the ID. So doc.id. So this is a unique identifier it automatically creates for you whenever you push out an entry inside Firebase database. So lastly, we need to simply set messages, pass this messages like this. That's it. This is a hook function that we put here like this. And lastly, guys, we simply need to return this function, which is unsubscribe. And also we need to put this empty bracket, so it will only run for the very first time when you load the component. So now if you look here, guys, if you go to the application, if you click refresh, so if you now click inspect here, nothing will be printed out because we haven't listed here. So we need to print the messages. So right here we will put here, if the messages are there, then only we need to display them. So now to display them, we will use the map operator, and here we will loop through. So for each message we need to print out. So here we will be declaring a separate component for the message. So the key will be the actual message ID, and the actual message will be passed as, these are the props that we are passing to the React component. So now you can see that. So now basically, guys, we need to create this message component that you see, guys. So inside this components folder, we will create this component message.jsx. So if you now see, this is the actual component which is there. So let me paste it. So right here inside this, guys, if you now see, it is saying message is not defined. So inside our chat component, this will be imported. You can now see message from message. So we are passing these as parameters, guys. So sorry, this needs to be message. So right here, guys, you can now see what we need to do is that so we are passing this as a parameter which is message. This is passed to it like this. So here we are calling it, you will now see messages.mass. So inside this message component, guys, simply basically you will have a paragraph which will embed the message dot name, and then we will have second paragraph which will put the message dot actual text. So these are the two input fields we have declared here inside. You can see name, whoever sent the message, and which is the text simply here. You can now see. So basically, if you now refresh it, hopefully, the messages are not printing out. You see, guys, why it is this problem. So wherever we are sending it, chat.jsx, you will now see. Let me see. Uh, Sorry, this is messages, guys. So messages. For each message, we will have this message. So for each message here, we are passing it. So the messages exist, then only. If you see the collection here, you will now see messages. I think, guys, I have made a mistake here. Let me write it once again. So this is the code here. Can't resolve send message. Simply delete this. So now you can see that the messages is printing out. This is a display name and this is a simple chat message. So it is present inside this, you will now see. If you now add a new document, so let's suppose auto-generated. So this will be the name here. This will be Parshad now. And the text, which will be this is some message, timestamp. So click on save. So basically, guys, now this will be the second message, Harshad, you will now see. So now we are able to print out messages from the database, Firestore database. So now we need to simply have a text field out there where we can write the message and insert this into the database. So here we will have, after this, we will have a simple component which will be called as send message. So just create this inside the components folder, send message dot jsx. So here, guys, just create this. And inside this send message, we will pass a scroll attribute to it, which is equal to scroll, like this. And also after this you will have a span, reference is equal to scroll. That's it. So inside send message, guys, basically we will have another style object. So here, guys, we will have a simple form where we can fill out the information. So const input, set input, and use state. This will be empty by default. So here we will be inside this HTML. We will have a simple form. So here we will be giving a class name to it, guys, which is style.form. And here we will have input field, input type of text, and basically class name will be style.input, and the placeholder will be simply message. And then, guys, you will have a simple button, so which will be send. So it will of type of submit, and we will be giving a class name to it of style.button. So if you now see, we will have a simple text field, and this is a button of send. So now if I write any sort of message and click on send, it should definitely create this message. So how we can do this? It's very easy. We can simply bind a on submit on the form element. So when the form submits, we need to create this message, send message custom function. So we make this function at the very top. So const send a message. So here, guys, what we need to say is that this will be an async function. Here we will say e.prevent default to prevent the auto submission of the form. And then we need to first of all check if input is empty, then in that case we will say that please enter a valid message. So if you see here, this input field we have binded. If you clearly see here, let me bind this value to be equal to the input, and we also need to bind a on change. So whenever its value changes, we will simply declare this. We will simply say set input e dot target dot value. That's it. If you now see here, if you click send, you will now see please enter a valid message. So we need to enter something here. So after this, guys, what we need to do is that also we need to return, and if the input is valid, then in that case we need to insert to Firestore database. So we can simply get the ID, UID, display name, all this information from the authentication object. You will see it will be imported from Firebase. So we can get the current user, authentication.current user. So this will get the unique ID and display name. And then we will simply await add document. So this is the function, guys, which provides by Firestore. You can see it is imported, so which lets you import, so insert data into the collection. So collection, so again DB, all these things you will now see it is automatically imported, and the collection name here in this case, which is messages, and then we will put a comma, and then this is a callback function object. So which data you need to say, guys? Text will be equal to input, and name will be equal to the display name that we have imported, and the UID will be inserted automatically, and the timestamp will be equal to the server timestamp. So you can see server timestamp will be automatically, this is a function. So current date and time. So after this, guys, we can simply clear out the input field by using set input to this one, and we will also need to scroll to the next page, scroll current, scroll into view, and here you will simply say behavior smooth. That's it. So now we can test this application, guys. It is saying unexpected use of scroll. Let me see, guys, what is, oh sorry, we also need to pass this as a parameter. You can now see inside this function we are passing it as a prop. So whenever we are calling it, if you see here, we are passing this as a parameter here. So now basically if you write some message here, it will should automatically insert this. Uh, Authentication current user. Let me see. Current user. If I refresh it, guys, our message is not inserted, and I think it is showing this error basically, which is this error, which is called as this one. Oh sorry, this needs to be this curly brackets, not the square brackets, so that's why. So now if you refresh it, guys, if you write a message, click on send, now you can see our messages are successfully inserted. So you can see that inside our Firestore, this is entries created. You will now see timestamp 10:57. You can now see. So in this way, guys, you can do this, and now we simply need to style this using Tailwind CSS. So first of all, we will style this input field, and basically we will set the font styling. So height we need to set it to 40, width to be full. So this will make it as a full width form. Here you can now see. I think we haven't attached the class which is style.forms here. So maximum width will be of 728 pixel, and this will be flex. Text will be extra large. Absolute bottom will be from 0. So now you can see that it is successfully styled here. So next, what we need to say, put a comma, and for the input fields we need to say w full, so this will have the full space which is required here. You now see. So after this, text extra large, padding 3. So now you can see that, and background will be of gray color, 900. So this is the gray color. You can now see we also need to change the text color to white. So text white. So now you can see that text is changed to white, and we also need to have the outline we need to remove this outline, so we will say outline none and border to also none, so you remove this border as well. So you can now see this is your input field which is tiled. So basically now put a comma and now we will come to the button styling. So this will now will be width to be 20% price, which is this one, and the background color will be green. So that's it. This is now styled here, guys. You can see here. So now basically we will style the chat window, guys, which is this one. If you come to the chat section, we have this already styled here, and I think we need to style the message section now. Message. So here you see here where was message component. This is a message component. Go to message component here. We are so basically, guys, here you can see that inside this we will have another div which will have a class name of basically like this. We're dynamically changing the class style.message, and also here message class. So inside this you need to put this paragraphs. So this paragraph will also be having a class name of style.name. So here depending upon if the user is logged in or is not logged in. So basically we'll check here if message class will be equal to. So first of all we will need to compare message. So here we simply compare the message which will send here. So message dot UID, and if it is triple equal to the authentication which is imported from Firebase, current user dot UID. So if this is the same user which is logged in that case we need to put the class which is this class which is style dot sent, and basically if it is the other user then in that case we need to put style dot received. These are the two classes here like this. Now basically we need to attach all these classes, which is simply I will paste it, guys. So you paste the styling here, message name sent received. So now guys you can see your application is complete. This is a message. You can now see, you can open this window anywhere else here also, any other account that you want to. First of all you need to sign in. So you can see that. So Mehak Chopra, you can now see. So in this way, guys, you can build out a public chat room inside React.js using Firestore and Tailwind CSS. This is very much easy that I've shown you. It also supports the Google authentication. Users must be able to sign up with their Google account automatically. So if you like this video, then please hit the like button, subscribe the channel as well. And all the source code is given in the live chat. In the pinned comment, you can go to this blog post and copy paste all the source code. Let me just read some messages which are coming here. Great consistency and great content following this channel daily. Which theme of VS Code? Basically, it's just an extension. Hello, my name is Amy. I really wanted to understand what you say because I'm from Brazil. Can you activate the translation, please? Basically, I speak only English, so I don't understand the Brazilian's accent. Yeah, I will wear a proper shirt. You don't need to speak those words in the live chat. Hi from Russia. I want to learn Firebase. Where I can start? Firebase is a pretty easy database to learn. It is in comparison to MySQL. So I think Firebase is pretty much very easy. You just need to learn from YouTube videos, blog post, all that stuff. Great content, bro. Wishing you all the best. So first of all, hit the like button, guys. Subscribe the channel as well. I'm seeing that you people are not subscribing the channel, so please hit the notification bell icon as well. Like the content as well. Target likes will be 50 likes here. So first of all, hit the like button. Subscribe the channel as well.